¿Cómo estás, everyone? It is I, Mac.
And it is I, Big Andy Hoybert, coming at you from the lair, also known as the nursery office, aka from my house.
Wait, should I rephrase what I said? Uh,
I would.
it is, how would I rephrase it? It is I, Mac Dubs, here with ya. Anywho, dude,
So,
I'm so glad it's Friday.
oh, I know. So we all got, for everybody who's listening in, we got a weather report from Storm Force 30. If y'all didn't know, Mac and I went out and became weathermen and started our own show, our own weather channel.
Yeah,
We got our team out there chasing the storm, and let's see. Later on this week, we're looking at a blizzard storm. That's when the cold air meets the warm air, and it mixes all together and makes snow
and it
and
turns it
comes down.
sideways,
Um,
and,
by this point, you guys realize that I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about. If you guys want more information, please go to my Facebook where I post videos all the time of this stupid shit. There is also Mac and I were talking about a new segment that developed actually last night. I think Mac knows where I'm kind of going with this. We're going to start reviewing some hate mail and or fan mail, whatever one comes through first.
we're gonna try to at least.
Let's see. We'll see how the segment turns out. Of course, we will give our responses. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So, I heard on the radio that, the Chiefs and Eagles game
Mm-hmm.
is going to be negative 6 degrees when they play.
Nice. Where are
That
they playing
is,
at? I mean, because if you ask, are they playing in Kansas City?
I think so.
I mean, I wonder how the attendance is going to be in Kansas City, Washington. Little inside joke for everybody. Apparently, my lovely mother likes to think that Kansas City is in freaking Washington. We'll go into the backstory about that later on. Mac, I'm going to turn this over to you though because it looks like we're going to have a mini guest that is not too happy as I look at the monitor. So,
All right. That's perfectly fine. Let's see here. Well,
yeah, you know what you're at, don't you? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back.
I was trying to give an update on the on some sports here, but Let's try again.
So, everybody, let's welcome our first guest for the night, Miss Nevada Harrison. Nevada, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Nice.
This is my co-host, Uncle Mac Dubs.
Hello,
Uncle Trucker Mac Dubs.
Uncle Trucker. All right, so
Mac, where's your can? You know, your spittoon. You got the trucker's hat. Now we're just waiting for the your snuff and your styrofoam cup.
styrofoam cup.
Oh, damn! You're way ahead of me, aren't you?
Sure am, cowboy.
You got your trucker's pecan.
My what?
Trucker's pecan.
Something like that.
Oh, okay. I mean, please tell me you know what I'm talking about.
My pecan pie.
No, I mean if you like eating truckers pecans, you go right ahead. But I'm not interested in eating out of a can that a trucker peed in. Pecan. It's not pecan. It's pecan.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I was at a. Where was I at? I was at a restaurant. Oh yeah, I was ordering ice cream, and I said, Can I get the truffle pecan milkshake or blizzard or whatever?" And she goes, "What?" I said, "Can I get the chocolate truffle pecan blizzard?"
Right. Yeah.
She goes, "I'm sorry, what?" She goes, "Oh, you mean the chocolate truffle pecan?"
Right.
Whatever. Just give me what I want. Now. Don't you agree, Nevada? See, she agrees. All right. So, we are going to send the link to our guest for tonight. Excuse me.
While we're waiting for our guest, Mac, I just have a quick question to ask.
Yes, my
So, bear with me. I'm putting little mini me in her chair. So, after what was it, last week's episode? Well, after last week's guest, I should say, I really got to thinking, why do we have to be so damn professional on our show?
So why do we have to be professional?
Yes, I mean,
I'm not being professional.
I think we were a little too professional for last week's episode. Was it last week's episode?
Are you talking about with Mr. Alberta?
Alberto, Lamir, Vladimir, Vazclav,
Something like
Latino
that.
looking gardener guy, whatever the hell you want to call him. Like,
Oh, dude.
I will say though, I don't want to completely shit on the guy. I mean, dude has quite a few views on that on that video. But I will say, I mean, for the headache that I went through on that, uh, I think the best part of the night was the whole editing process, and that was made me want to go out and get him gardening tools and a straw hat. Be like, here you go. And
That's
listen,
a,
for everybody who's listening, I am not racist or prejudiced by any means. Neither is Mac. I think actually Mac is more open than I am. Um, but yeah, Mac, were you going to say something?
no, maybe later.
Premium content stuff. Gotcha.
Speaking of premium content stuff, we're nine
We
views. We are 9 subscribers away, guys.
Let's make it happen. Let's get that merch
Let's
out.
get let's get to 1,000 and then beyond. But let's get to 1,000 first, so we can drop that merch.
Absolutely. And I'm actually going to check right now just to. We are at 992 right now.
Nine
We
ninety
are
two.
we are 8 subscribers away.
I rephrased that. 8 subscribers away.
You know, looking back at this at these views on our videos, uh, I've come to realize that more people, I think, tune in for our guests rather than they do us. You had posted a video, uh, 31 seconds long on the channel there, and in 24 hours it is doing a whopping 3 views.
Was it the one? Was it my thank you video? Yeah, I know.
What's up, everyone? Go subscribe and like.
People are just. I don't know, dude. People are just people these days.
Hey, but you know what? It's okay. You know, we don't judge, and I mean, if it makes them happy, hey, if they're gonna sub and come check us out, I don't care either way.
I mean, we're not begging for your subscription.
No, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. That would not be the first and last show without technical difficulties.
Hey, look, we were able to set up tonight with no
Very quickly,
technical.
actually. Yes. You know, dude, I'm actually proud of myself. And all this talk about subs, I think this week, since we did so good, I think we deserve ourselves some subs.
You know what? I think I have an idea for our next episode.
I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not, because I know as soon as I ask, what do you have in mind, I'm going to instantly regret it. But I think I know where you're going. Subs for subs.
We'll get some subs. We'll cheer the subs, and then we'll stuff our face.
Absolutely. I can work with that.
So,
We
hey,
didn't
I
forget
mean,
to. You didn't forget to send a link to our guest, did you?
I just sent it,
Oh, okay.
and then I just texted her, and she says, "Are you guys ready for me?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
That's why we sent the link. For the love of God, dude, I feel like this is a replay of last week.
No, everything will be fine.
I truly don't think I have enough. I'm starting to think I have a problem.
Fred Bullaholic.
But the difference between my problem and an alcoholic's problem is mine is perfectly justified.
True.
Seriously, the things I go through on a daily basis with people in general, I don't think I could get by.
I mean,
Now, I will say though, I am looking forward to next week's episode.
well,
We
I'm
welcome
always
the
looking
guest old
for.
Southern style.
I'm always looking for. Uh,
I mean, I always look forward to the shows too. However, next week's episode is a special edition Cowboy Hee Haw episode.
so look, if I can't get the cowboy hat, I at least have a. I at least have a hat with a dog on the front, so that'll work.
I mean, could you make it a horse? I mean, dude, throw on some cowboy boots.
I can try.
Put on the chaps. Just make sure you guys. Oh, look at that! Here's our guest.
So I can try to have a cowboy hat for next week.
This sounds like a good idea. How you doing?
Good. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Wow. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. It's
You as
been a
well.
while.
I was thinking it was like 2018.
Yeah, I believe so. I was just actually showing him our last episode, and I was like, dude, it's been a long time.
I'm
How are
glad to
you?
see you guys are back.
Hey,
Dude, I'm good. It's been a crazy 5 years, but
yeah,
um,
it's same here.
who didn't have a crazy last 5 years though? So yeah.
Yeah, it's been a journey. We've actually stopped and decided to come back this year. So um,
Made some big improvements. We're on YouTube now and has almost 1,000 subscribers. So
No way! Congrats. That's
yeah,
awesome.
when I checked
yeah,
during the episode here before you came in, we were 8 away from 1,000. So
That's great.
yeah. So that's like I said, it's been a journey. Just especially through these 5 years. I mean, we've gone through so many co-hosts and people branching off to different places. So it's been it's been rough. And then we took a big hiatus and was like, I don't know if we're gonna do this anymore. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's just do it and just go all the way with it this time. And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it was cool. You guys reached out. Cause I was just thinking same thing is like, okay, I've kind of been in hiatus. I had a baby. He's 3 now. And then I got cancer, stage 4 cancer. I did chemo. I'm done with all that. And I'm like, it's time to kind of like focus on what's next for my career. So I've just been kind of putting some more effort into kind of building that following back up after being a little less active, just a little more internal for a while. So I've been focusing on the surfing thing again big time, and then it was perfect timing you guys reached out. I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Awesome, awesome. So I remember back on our first episode, you were doing their survival thing and going around to different places, and you had some crazy stories. And I was telling him about the Mexican cartel.
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I did some sketchy stuff. In fact, it was so funny. Yesterday, I went and I surfed this place. I've never surfed there before. The winds are in this weird direction right now. So the waves are all on the east side of the island. They're never on the east side of the island. So I went over there by myself. I see this place. It's like a 25-minute paddle. So it's like more than half a mile offshore. There's nobody out. And I'm like, yeah, I can surf that. And so I start paddling out and I'm like, this is sketchy. This is super sketchy. And then I was like, Melanie, you love sketchy. So yeah, I did some sketchy stuff in Mexico. There were multiple run-ins with the cartel.
ooh,
Um, but you know what? In the end, the cartel turned out to just be like most 20 to 30-year-old guys, which was who I was hanging out with.
Who knew the Mexican cartel turned out to be just normal everyday people, huh?
So I was watching a video the other day, and I can't remember where I was watching. I don't know if it was a YouTube short or if I was on just scrolling through Facebook or Instagram, or can't remember where I watched it. But anyways, this guy works at Walmart, and I find out that they have a Walmart cartel now. It was a I don't know if it was a I don't know if they were joking around or what, but a guy a guy walks into Walmart and he's like, "Hey, do you know who I am?" And the guy's like, "No, I don't." He was like, "I'm with the such and such cartel." And then the guy that works at Walmart was like, "Well, I'm with the Walmart cartel, dude, and we're badass."
And I mean, like, that is kind of the experience that I had with the Mexican cartel was like, as soon as I showed a little bit of confidence and a little bit of like, I'm not really buying that you're that scary, I kind of got like the similar reaction that was like, oh, okay, like you can kind of do what you want. I don't know. It was interesting. Like the time I probably told you guys about it last time, but when when there was a roadblock, there was like a tree across the road, and I was driving, and it was the only road I would have had to like turn around and go back like I don't know many miles out of my
This
way.
used to be called a jump bump.
And yeah, they had like these guys, they run out, they run toward my car, they have bandanas over their face, and they have assault rifles, and they like get to my car before I could get the window up, and they put the barrel of the gun through the window, and they're like, give me your sunglasses. And I had a moment of confidence, and I was like, no. Like, I paid like $100 for these sunglasses. You can't have them. And then he like reached for my phone, which was like in the center console. And I
Mm,
had this little puppy. I had just adopted this tiny, I mean, she was probably like 7, 8 weeks old, barely big enough to be away from her mom. She was in the passenger seat, and she like leapt at the guy as he was putting his hand in, and she was like, "Arf!" Like the cutest little dumb bark. And the guy pulled his hand back, and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden I was just like, no, this is bullshit. And the guy's like, well, there's a tax. And I don't remember how much he said it was. And I was like, well, I have the largest denomination of Mexican money, which is like a 500 note. And that's $25 approximately. And I was like, well, I have this much. And he was like, okay. So he took my money, and then I gave him water. He asked for water. And then he was like, okay, well, do you need directions anywhere, or do you need a place to stay? And there's a really good restaurant up the road.
oh,
And then they like moved the tree, and I was on my way.
wow.
I think what it comes down to is like the intimidation factor. I think that's what they put on first, and then when they realize the intimidation ain't gonna work, they're like, okay, and then they just let you go about your merry way. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a guest a couple of weeks ago. Uh, Terry Tucker is his name. He's a motivational speaker. He worked with the police and everything, and he was telling us some stories. And I ended up telling him a story of mine. Um, so I worked with this junk removal company, and we were going to this place called Durham, North Carolina, to do some work. Well, we pulled up at a gas station, and my coworker at the time went in the gas station. He's like, I'm grabbing some things. He's like, want anything? I'm like, sure. So I gave him a $10 bill, and he goes in. And this random guy just walks up to my window, and he was like, hey. I was like, I just wanted to let you know. I wanted to come up and tell you I was thinking about robbing you. I'm like, thanks for letting me know. Now you can go away now.
at least the dude was honest, though.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you got to respect the guy enough, though, that at least he was honest enough to come over and say something, you know.
I mean, there's got to be like drugs involved in that, right? Like, I don't know. It kind of seems
Possibly.
a little crazy. It's a little
I mean, when
crazy.
I was working with the junk removal company, I saw. I mean, I know we were not like the the police or anything, but I saw some sketchy things. I
Hmm.
saw like a little small drug lab in an apartment.
Mhm.
Man, I saw like all kinds of drugs, and you can see where they were like cooking the drugs out in the apartment from like the smoke was like hitting the wall, the whole wall. The wall was white, and um, you could just see like the black like dust on it from where they were. I'm like, oh
And
my
you had to
gosh.
clean that, Mac?
I didn't have to clean that, no, but we had to
So,
clean
I mean,
around. We had to clean around it, yeah.
fastest way to clean that is just slap a sign on the front door saying drugs $5.
Oh, so that happened. Okay, so I live next door to a place that could definitely use some junk removal services. Like I live one house back from the beach, a beautiful neighborhood, the North Shore of Oahu. Like I just rent. I'm not by no means wealthy, but it's a nice neighborhood. But right next to me, there is a house that the roof is caving in, and there is junk everywhere. Like it looks like a hoarder house, but they're up all night long, and you hear like machinery, like what's that? The impact wrench. You hear that
Mm.
thing, and they're always wrenching on cars all night long. So a few years ago, this is probably about 3 years ago, my car was stolen right out of the driveway. And
What?
yeah, and we have security cameras. And so we look on the security cameras, it's clearly the guy from next door. Like you can see him jumping over the fence from his yard into our yard. And you can tell who it is, but he's got like a hoodie and like, this is during COVID, so he's got the mask on. So, the police didn't really do anything. But I'm like, okay, my neighbors are up all night wrenching on cars. They stole my car. Clearly, this is a chop shop, right? So we've been working with the police. It's been 3 years. All the neighbors have been trying to, but the police in Hawaii are terrible. So anyway, one of my neighbors goes out in the middle of the night in big block letters on the curb in front of their house. He writes chop shop with an arrow pointing into their driveway. Oh my God. So the next day, of course, all of those abandoned vehicles, like the whole driveway is filled with these junky, falling apart vehicles. Gone. All of them gone. All the transients that are coming in all night long stopped showing up. So it was only a temporary solution. Unfortunately, they covered it up and the problem's back, but it was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
it's when I was working with the junk removal. So since we work with the state and everything, um, so if once we put the stuff on the back of our truck, on our dump truck, that's it. It is not yours anymore. And the only way you can get it back is by signing papers and going that way. Well, we get to this one place and we start doing the job, and the guy just starts being a jerk, and he's like, "Nope." He's like, "Nope, you guys uh, put some stuff on here that I didn't want taken away." I'm like, "Well, it was in the pile, and if you want it, you have to come down to the office and sign everything, and you can get it back." "No, I want it now. Matter of fact, you know what? I just want all of it." I'm like, "Sir, I'm not taking everything off this truck, you know?" And he's
I
like, "I
mean, if
don't
you want
care."
to do
He's
my
like,
job for me, go ahead. But
I'm like, "Yeah, that's basically what my coworker told him. It's like, you want it? You take it off,
yeah,
and we'll go get lunch." But we ended up pulling the lever. He was like, "Nope, you're taking it off." I'm like, "Okay." We're gonna take it off. Reach in the truck, pull the lever, let it slide right off the back of the truck, right in his driveway, and we pulled off. I was like, "There's your
Oh,
stuff."
oh man. Yeah, that
So
sounds like an interesting job.
I tell you what, though, I worked there for 4 years, and pretty sad. I found some interesting things. Um, Found some valuable things. I found them. I found about say while I was there, I found maybe close to $1,000, uh, just out of random cash. I mean, um,
So could you keep anything you wanted to keep?
oh yeah, yeah,
Wow.
anything that, yeah,
That was like $1,000 tip.
basically. So there was one day we did this clean out, and um, we found like a whole blue tub of like change and dollar bills, um, and then we found like some Louis Vuitton stuff, and I
Dang.
was like, I'll tell you what, I was like, what do you want? He goes, I'll take the Louis Vuitton stuff, and I was like, all right, I'll take the change and the dollar bills, and
Note to self: move over to Mac, where Mac lives, and get a job working with him.
so I've so I've been going through a little health issues myself, and I'm finally able to get back to work. Um, I went back today, and I got to do a couple of apartments today, and I was like in my head, what did I get myself back into? Oh man, I mean, there's some places where we have to go in and do hazmat, wear hazmat suits. Yeah, it's disgusting. But there was one time where we didn't have hazmat suits. We had to go pick some up. But I'm about 6'5.5", so I, I'm I needed like a 3X just to fit over me, and
Oh
it's
no.
like the closest thing they had was like a 1XL, and I'm like, yep, it's not going to work. So I had to play MacGyver and jimmy up my own hazard suit.
How
So
did you do that?
we went to Lowe's, and my coworker got his hazmat suit, and I was like, all right, how much do we got? So I went and I bought a poncho, some booties to cover your shoes, and then it was like a trash bag and some trash bags. And I put the poncho over my over my chest and body, and then I put holes in the trash bag and put them over my legs, and I put wrap duct tape around the bottom so they would stay up, and I put the booties over my head, and yeah, that's how I went in the house.
Dude, how hot were you? Were you just
Dude,
sweating?
I was I was drenched, and come to find out, we didn't even do the job. We just walked in there and was like, "Ma'am, you need help," and um, and I just can't believe they were living like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
sad.
it was they had bed bugs in the couch. Uh, we tried moving the couch. We had gloves on and stuff like that, and uh, my coworker just went up and was just like that to the couch, and you could just hear
Ugh,
scattering everywhere.
ugh.
And the kids were sitting on the couch, and I'm like, yeah,
For the
Oh,
love of God,
that's
the
so
only time I
sad.
need a hazmat suit is when I'm changing my daughter's diaper. I
Hey,
mean,
we cloth diapered my kid, and you can't just like throw a poopy diaper into the wash machine. You got to take that thing into the shower with like the tub water running super
Oh.
like high pressure and blast all the poo out of there and then hand wash it. And then you got to wash the chunks of poo down the drain in the shower. And then you got to go take a shower in there.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
That's what you get for being environmentally conscious.
I often tell my wife every time I change my daughter's diapers, so glad you're at work today. One instance, I told her, I said, I'm glad you're at work. She said, why? I said, well, we had a visitation here from the Men in Black. I said, what are you talking about? I said, the Men in Black had come and scoped the house, and they ended up taking your daughter's diaper to the Area 51 to make sure that she was human, because I'm totally convinced the stuff that's coming out of your daughter's diaper or going into your daughter's diaper is not human.
Oh.
How old is she?
She is 5.5 months.
Oh, did she start solid foods?
Yep, she's eating.
Oh, that's the stinkiest when they do
Oh,
that.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember that first week of solid foods. I was like, oh my God, is there a dead animal inside you? So
I've only
bad.
gotten sick a couple times from having to change her diapers, so.
I'm I'm at the teenage age now with mine, so mine's my oldest is 15 and he's a freshman in high school, and my daughter's 11 and she'll be going to middle school next year, and
She loves scaring people.
she does love scaring people.
Mm-hmm.
Our last podcast, so on Sundays we do we have we do an investigation show where we investigate like different conspiracy theories, and
Cool.
so we're working on this one case. This wrestler.
I thought it was cool too until last week.
Till I literally turned around and my face was just like. So we were working on this case and we were watching a video, and then all of a sudden, my daughter, she has one of those cleansing masks on.
Oh no.
And she walks right behind the camera, and she just goes, and I turned around and I screamed.
Oh, that's good.
I was like,
I do have a question. I'm sorry, Mike, cut you off.
You're good.
Earlier, you had made mention about living in Hawaii. So my question I wanted to ask you, and I thought about this earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt, is how is everything going there currently with, I guess it was the volcano explosion or something or other and all that. How is that coming along?
Yeah, so I live on Oahu, and Oahu is we've been pretty lucky because over on Big Island there were two volcanoes exploding at the same time. Thank God those things kind of like calmed down before they hit any like populated areas, because it was getting kind of scary to the point where like if they stayed on the same path that it was going to go through some towns and houses and stuff. But I think they were pretty spared this time. And the Hawaiians are pretty specific about, like, we don't dig a trench, we don't reroute the lava. Like, this island made itself and we let it continue to make itself. Yeah. So luckily that one wasn't so bad. But right on the heels of the volcano was the Lahaina fire, which was in Maui. So again, a different island. But you know what? Hawaii is small. It's a small state. So we all kind of knew people over there who were affected. And I've been to Maui, and Lahaina. Lahaina was my favorite part of Maui many, many times. Got a real good friend. The guy lost everything. He's like a shaman, like a natural medicine healer.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he had this huge lab filled with plants that he's collected, since he was like 8 years old, Native American, trained by his grandfather. collecting all these plants and herbs and these modalities for healing. Big bow hunter, made all of his own bows, had like 40 different handmade bows. Anyway, he and whenever the fire broke out, he had to run with his dog in his backpack, and just on foot, just running through, he said 20-foot walls of flames, and just running, I think like hours, like 1 or 2 hours straight of just like trying to escape the flames and just running across bodies. And I mean, it just sounds like literal hell, right? And so
Yeah.
so sad. There's people like that, and I watched what's happened to him since then. Like, he's not practicing medicine. He's pretty much homeless. He doesn't have a way to earn an income. His dog died 3 weeks later. Maybe it was like smoke inhalation, or she was a perfectly healthy dog. So then he lost his dog, and it's just like all these people, so sad. And then I know you guys like conspiracy theories. There's a lot of conspiracy theories around what happened there.
Oh
It'd
no.
be interesting to hear what you guys think about that, because over here they're saying like there's no reason
Guys, we are having
they
technical
didn't sound
difficulties here.
the sirens, because there's sirens that are supposed to be, we hear them every Friday or every first Friday of the month at 11:45 in the morning. They test those frickin' sirens, and you can hear them anywhere. So like,
Why didn't they go off during the?
Good question, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, they're saying that their roads were blocked and the people were actually trapped in Lahaina. Like, they couldn't get out. Like, there were gates. Because all over Hawaii, there's these roads that are not really roads. They're gated off with, like, a chain link fence. And so there were people that were just there with wire cutter or bolt cutters trying to get through these gated off roads because all the main roads were blocked. And they were saying they sent the kids home from school, which is like, you can't do that. You can't just like send kids home in the middle of the day. Who are you sending them home to? Like, that's not.
One has to wonder: does the Mexican cartel have something to do with it?
Who or somebody?
It's the it's the Simone cartel. No.
Well, then there's the Acapulco hurricane, stage 5, category 5 hurricane. I mean, they're saying that was man-made because there was no rain with it. It was only wind, and there was no warning. These people, it was a tropical storm all the way to category 5. So maybe the Mexican cartel had something to do with that.
We had a decent storm here the other night, and I just say, hey, if there's a big storm coming in, just like tonight, we're supposed to get a pretty decent storm here again. It's like if it's going to happen during school hours, don't make these kids go to school.
No.
Right.
Yeah. I remember when I was in high school, we were supposed to get this big snowstorm, and there was like, okay, guys, it's going to happen in the afternoon, so you're going to go to school for half a day. And we get to school, it starts pouring down. It's like so bad. It was so bad, like you couldn't see the streets. And they're like, all right, we're releasing everyone. And it's like, all right, everyone, go to your buses. I'm like, I'm not getting on this bus. I will walk home. I literally walked 2 miles home in that blizzard, and I'm like, I'm gonna sue this school.
Yeah, scared for your life.
What's the protocol for like if the volcano erupts and it's heading towards? What's the evacuation protocol?
Okay, so for volcanoes, it's not that bad because volcanoes are slow. The lava moves slow. So I think, there's nobody real. Well, obviously, if you're like a hiker, I don't think you're allowed within a certain distance of like where the lava could potentially hit you, like, immediately. So I think that they have time and they kind of know when that's coming. But other things like tsunami, we have like a lot of tsunami warnings. And then we have to get to like a certain level. There's like zones. There's like green zone, yellow zone, red zone. So you have to like go, if we're in the red zone here, so you have to go up. Oh, hi. He just woke up from his nap. So yeah, you got to kind of climb or just drive up the mountain if there's a tsunami warning. The biggest thing that we get is like massive waves in this area, and they came. This was like the day Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving. The waves came across the road, and they were like pushing people off the road, pushing cars into the ditch, and filling up the lifeguard towers. The next day, I saw a tree that was like a good 50 feet from where the normal high tide line would be, and then a good like 20 feet above, like up on a sand berm. And then the tree itself was like 15 feet, and the leaves were ripped off the
We're
tree.
having some
It
difficulties
was
here.
crazy. Yeah. So we get some big
See,
waves.
she's
That's the
running at
biggest thing
94.
that we really have to deal with
Yeah,
here.
well, I mean, it's still...
Oh, there we go.
Oh, did you lose me? You still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Cutting in and out there.
Oh, sorry about that.
You're all
Hopefully it's
right.
not me. I gotta put some Paw Patrol on for this guy. You remember the toddler stage? Did your kids watch Paw Patrol?
Paw Patrol, Peppa Pig.
Oh yeah.
What about Blazing the Monster Machines?
Oh yeah, we're into Blaze.
Okay, my son, he was always into the Blazing the Monster Machine. I could sit him down in his rocker, and he would watch that. And you would think he was sleeping, and he wasn't sleeping. He was just so hyper focused on that. He loved watching that and wrestling.
Wrestling?
But oh yeah, wrestling, mixed martial arts, and that's that's the biggest takeaway I've noticed out of my kids is they seem to take after their dad in that instance. Even my daughter, when she wants a bottle, she's always got her fist like this. Even when you're feeding her, she's got her fist up like, I'm gonna knock you out. I was doing dishes the one day, and my wife was holding her, and I happened to look back to see what was going on, and I see my daughter just doing overhand left and caught her mom right in the eye. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Yeah, nice.
Is that your background? Are you a wrestler or fighter?
Wrestler, mixed martial arts. Oh yeah, I've done that my whole life.
You still do it?
From time to time, when I can get people to face me and stuff like that, more or less, I just put myself out there, try to get opponents, and see what comes of it. But I've definitely dialed back a bit, with my daughter here now and stuff like that. So I kind of wait until the opportunity presents itself. Plus, being 33 and feeling like sometimes I'm 56 years old, it's, yeah. I mean, doing it as often and as much as I did, years and years ago, it takes a toll. So I wake up and I feel it almost every
Eat
day.
more dragon fruit.
Yeah, isn't that the worst? Is like being young and feeling old? Sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm 34, and yeah.
But I don't regret it. I really don't. I love doing it. If I get the opportunity, I jump right in there and I do it all the time. I mean, it's a passion, and it's something I love to do. So, I mean, if I get somebody that wants to do it, I'm all for it. And then there's times where I often will spend, if I'm not busy, I take my spare time to see if I can find somebody to want to do it. More often than not, it ends up coming down to we'll set something up and then it falls through. Oftentimes, like I've been to Utah for my church's general conference. We went to go listen to the prophet, and we had a couple friends down there, and I was able to wrestle one of my friends from down there. And so sometimes it's on the spot, sometimes it's planned. it just depends on kind of what happens.
So, what age do you think is good to get kids into that, and what do you suggest? And I'll tell you the reason why I'm asking, so maybe you can give me a better answer. But my kid is 3.5, and he's already had two incidences where he's had to defend himself because I teach him use his words first, tell the kids whatever,
right.
and then like they've been physical and lashed out and put him in a position where like either I wasn't watching right at the moment or I couldn't get to him, for a good 30 seconds or something. So what's it? And Hawaii is scrappy. The kids are very scrappy here. So I want
Right.
to get him in
My
something. A lot of
advice,
kids, yeah, go.
I would say my advice would be, I mean, I would be, I'm already teaching her, and I've already started teaching her how to make a proper fist. Because usually with kids they go like this, and
Yeah.
what I do is I take her thumb and I go like this. Uh, my personal belief, and this may be an unpopular opinion out there. I personally I don't care. Start them as early as you can. I don't think there's ever. To me, there is no such thing as too early to teach a kid something like that. Because you never know at what age they're going to have their first incident.
So you
So it's
think
just a
like
matter of,
just like a self-defense class, jiu-jitsu, or because I don't know how to fight. Like that's never been me. I don't know what to teach him.
I mean, so me, I've always been more of a grappler. And I mean, I do striking, and I've always, tried to improve on it. I say, I mean, if you can get them into to whatever, I mean, well rounded is the best way to go. I wouldn't specialize on just one specific. I mean, you want a combination of grappling, striking, self defense,
Yeah, and in all
points.
honesty, um, probably mixed martial MMA training would probably work out better because
That's and doing MMA. That's where they're going to teach you almost everything. They're not going to
they'll
special.
teach you striking, submission, self defense.
They're
Um,
not going to teach you just striking or just grappling or just jujitsu or just karate. They'll go over literally everything.
and
Okay.
before they start teaching you like how to throw a punch and everything, they're gonna teach you balance. They're gonna teach you self defense because you're not supposed to learn this stuff to go beat somebody's.
Right.
But I mean, if it comes down to it, then yeah,
Right. There's a time and a place.
Oh yeah,
And that's a tricky thing to
yeah.
teach a kid too, like when it's appropriate, because every situation is different.
right. I mean, no, but that would be my advice is to. And it also really depends and on one's budget or financial. I mean, I'd say go out there and see what is best going to suit the price that you are most comfortable with paying, but also make sure you know what you're getting with that plan. Uh, Always look for a well-rounded, teach them everything rather than just the specifics of judo or just karate or this or that. You always want a little bit of everything.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for that.
Mhm. Absolutely. That's a
Yeah.
shame though that your son has already had to at what 3.5. That
I
is
mean, I
this isn't
don't
being
think the
bullied.
kids are like mean spirited. Like they just have a
Mhm.
lot of energy and maybe not well directed. And so it's just I mean, they're just kids being kids, but my kid is kind of like a real sensitive, kind of very
Mhm.
mellow. His dad's super mellow, just surfer guy. Yeah, it's all good. Everything's chill.
Oh my gosh, Meg! I feel like we're doing a rerun because we did an episode talking about bullying and stuff like this
Oh
not
my
that long ago,
gosh.
and so a couple of the things that you said just immediately gave me a flashback of that episode.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard for that
we
kind of kid. You got to teach them, like, okay, everything
And
isn't chill all the time.
well, that and I mean the kids that bully others, I don't, and I said this on that episode. It's the parenting. It's not you can't completely fault the child. It's there's a lot of factors. It's the environment that they're brought into. It's what they see, from their parents. So there's a lot that it's never genetic. It's what you project to them.
Yeah, I don't really believe that there's any such thing as a bad kid, at least not when they're little, There's just
No.
bad parents. Really. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
once you have kids, you look at them and you're like, these things come to us completely pure. Like there is
yeah.
Oh
not
yeah.
1 ounce of wrongness in them, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the parenting.
Oh yeah.
So I have to, I got to remind myself of that a lot when I'm parenting him. Like I'll want to scold him and I'm like, wait, I didn't put him in a situation to succeed. Like I'm mad because these toys are everywhere, but I haven't really been very disciplined about making him pick up the toy before you get a new one out. I haven't worked with him enough on that. And it's really my fault that the toys are everywhere because he's a kid. Like, of course he's going to want to get every toy out. So it's a constant like rechecking myself, like, oh no, this is your fault, not his.
It's
I mean,
just
go ahead, Mac.
I don't know. I was saying what she was saying about picking up a toy before you get a new one. So the past 5 years, I started a new journey and I became a football coach. And
Yeah, 3
one of the
championships. I'm happy about that.
yeah, and one of the lessons I taught my kids on the team was you're not going to throw a football until you can learn how to catch a tennis ball. And they hated me for the next 2 weeks. And I'm like, you learn how to catch a tennis ball, I will give you a football. So one by one, and we would practice the whole practice with a tennis ball as the football. I'm like, Coach, this is stupid. I'm like, just watch your eye coordination in the game. It's going to be sharper and you're going to be more eyes on the ball.
I feel like we have
Coach,
to do that this season.
yeah, it's yeah. We'll get there when the time comes. It's going to be a rough new start, but
How'd you come up
yeah,
with
so
that?
um I actually saw it on a TV show and they were actually using ping pong balls and I'm like, yeah, I need something that can at least they can throw a little bit farther than that. But yeah, then we started doing drills and stuff and it worked out and they haven't used a tennis ball since. But I made them write their name on the tennis ball and take it home and bring it back to practice each day. And they did. So, I mean, that was one of the drills that really worked out. And for boosting confidence and stuff like that. Um,
This past fall, we went a perfect season,
oh yeah,
Wow,
man.
that's amazing.
There was
just
games.
like Michigan did this year too.
Dang.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I am a huge Michigan fan, and so I mean I cried so hard when Michigan won the NCAA nationals.
I grew up in Michigan.
Oh really? Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. But my parents are
I
state
was born and
fans,
raised.
so
Yeah.
I never followed
Oh
the
okay.
yellow and blue too much because they were state alumni.
Okay.
But I think that's a cool way, going back to the tennis ball thing, because I always wanted someone to play catch with me when I was
Mhm.
playing football. Because I played for a women's league when I was right out of high school, and I was defense, but when you're defense, you occasionally get the chance to intercept a football, and I was always just getting it with my fingertips and knocking it down. I wasn't making I might maybe would block it, but not intercept it. So I always wanted someone to help me just to receive a football. But then you have to have a buddy. You have to have someone with the time to do that. So if you have a tennis ball, you can throw that thing against the wall and throw it as hard as you can and work on the
Yeah.
speed. And yeah, that's a great idea.
And another thing I had them do, it was one of our warm ups. I'd have them circle up in a big circle. I'd stand in the middle, and I would just throw the ball at them. And I wouldn't say who I'm throwing the ball to. I would just turn to that kid and throw it at them. If they catch it, they're in. If they drop it, they're out, and they have to do 5 push-ups and then go wait on the fence.
If it
And
hits him in the face, then Mac had to do 5 push-ups.
but yeah,
How
I
about a
mean,
way to lay some kids out without really getting in trouble there? Uh,
Smart.
yeah. So I've seen you wrote a book.
I did. So I was in chemo and I needed something to do. I was like, man, I'm so bored. And actually, I've been wanting to write this book for a long time because I had gone through having an eating disorder in my 20s and having to work through all that. And really, when you have any sort of addiction, which is what an eating disorder is, you don't just like heal from that. You have to like do the spiritual work, the mental,
Yeah.
physical, spiritual, all of it. So I went through all that and learned a lot and really wanted to start helping other women or whoever to be able to come to the other side of that, because it's so awesome. The freedom I have now is like, I'm hungry, I eat. I'm not hungry, I don't eat. My body stays, I've been 142 pounds, with the exception of going a little bit lower in chemo, um, for like, I mean, 5 years now. Well, of course, when I was pregnant, I weighed more, but yeah, so I decided to put it all into a program, put that program into a step-by-step manual, and turn it into a book. So I did that and had a great response. I hit #1 on Amazon in my category. Um,
Nice.
and
Awesome.
and yeah, just working toward getting that out to just a bigger audience, and being able to help do some more coaching one-on-one. That'd be the dream, is like be able to help people live a better life and get paid for it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I was going to ask you. I saw that. So so is it motivational coaching you do one on one with that, or?
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, it can't be just one thing, right? Because how we do one thing is how we do everything. So it turns out people will come to me saying, I've gained too much weight, I'm having a problem losing it, and feel like I have some issues around addiction and food, or it could be the opposite, like I don't want to eat, I'm too thin, I have a hard time eating, whatever it is. Sometimes it's binging and purging, but what it turns out to be is that the body is doing those behaviors, overeating or undereating, as a way of protecting us from something deeper. So, it might be that they're super unhappy in their relationship or their job, or maybe they have undealt with hormonal issues or depression or whatever it is. The
and they may
the
not even realize it.
Right. The food thing is never the issue. Because if your body wants food, there's a reason it wants food. Like, it doesn't feel good. It wants food. Food makes us feel amazing. Like, it releases all of these amazing feel good chemicals in our brain. So and the restriction of food, weirdly enough, for people who are feel good with when they're in charge, when they have that control, they get the same feel good chemicals. So yeah, it's all just a protection mechanism. So I tell people, your weight is the warning light in your car. The warning light is not the problem, right? it's just the
Right.
symptom. It's just telling us, hey, you need to look under the hood. So when I start unpacking things, I mean, people may need to leave a relationship, or they may need to make some big changes in the relationship, or they may need to change a job or change a living situation. Or a lot of times, nothing needs to be changed except the internal dialogue. And so that's the harder thing really to work on. And it's something that took me the longest, is like, oh, this doesn't have to be a problem. I'm making it a problem by the way that I'm thinking about it. And a good example of that is like what we think about our partners sometimes. Like, I would get so mad at my partner, like, oh, he doesn't do the dishes after I cook. He doesn't appreciate my cooking. He must be selfish and lazy. He doesn't love me. Like, this story, right? Until I finally sit down and ask him, and he's like, well, my mom always cooked. I never did the dishes. This is just how I thought it worked. And I was like, oh, okay, well, cool, then I'll just stop making dinner. And he was like, wait, I need dinner. And we had a conversation and found a solution. So sometimes it's the internal thing that's going on, and we don't even know because we're so programmed. We think the same thoughts day after day. We wake up and we have the same problems, and we are approaching them in the same way. And it really takes someone else to look in from the outside and have a bigger, a broader perspective to help shift that perspective, so that tomorrow is not just a copy of today. So I always tell women, like, don't use willpower. Like, willpower around food, diets, never going to be effective, because you're going to run out of willpower. You got to use
Yeah.
want power. So if you want to eat that food, eat it. Fine, go ahead and eat it mindfully. Notice, how does this make you feel? Notice, oh, you're still sad as soon as the package of Oreos is gone. You still have all the same problems, except now you have a stomach ache and you feel like a fat slob. So if you can become more aware and more conscious of the emotions that are surrounding your eating, then you start to go, wait a minute, I did that last time and that didn't feel good. I actually don't want to eat this whole package of Oreos or whatever it is. So yeah, it's a process. It takes time. It's not an overnight fix, but it's pretty beautiful when you start changing all these other things in your life, and then all of a sudden these women are going, hold on a minute, I haven't changed my diet at all and the weight's coming off. Like, what's going on? It's like, yeah, the check engine light goes off after you fix the problem, right?
Right.
So, Melanie, I'll give you a little backstory. I used to be 283 pounds, and I'm down to. Let me lay it down here. And I'm down to, as of last week, I'm down to 188. I was able to make it down to my lowest of 183. Um,
Wow.
and it's so um, to hear your thoughts on helping people with like food and stuff like that. I mean, my biggest thing was motivation. 'Cause I love to work out, and so it's just like I'm not happy with where I was at the time. There's a lot going on, and it's just like I needed that motivation. The motivation came to me, and I put in a lot of the work. Had helped my doctor and stuff like that, and I got down to this weight. And um, I still find it difficult. I mean, my wife will often point out, Andy, you're not eating as much as you used to, or this or that. But I don't really have a concept of time. I suffer from autism and a couple other mental disabilities. I don't. What happened an hour ago to me seems like it happened last week, and so I can eat something and say maybe half hour, an hour later, I could be hungry again, and I'll go back and I'll eat. Or quite the opposite. I'll eat, and if I'm full, I'll be all right, and then I just sometimes in a day I feel like I eat a lot more than I do, and then there's also times where I actually do eat more, and then I'll think to myself, I really didn't eat that much, when really I done packed away quite a bit. So I mean that's the biggest struggle I have, and it's just trying to find that. that balance. I weigh in every week, and I have a set goal, but I find it harder and harder to be like, no, I really don't need to eat. And a lot of it comes just, I have a lot of time on my hands. And so I got to find a better way of distracting myself. I've noticed that
Yeah.
when I'm distracted or I'm busy, I'm less tempted to go and eat something, rather as to if I'm sitting there, on my phone or just, I'll look over. So where my living room is located, it's right, it's wide open into the kitchen. So I'll
Yeah.
look at, okay, and I'll trot over there and say, okay, let's see what there is. And I mean, I'm content, I'm full, but it's just like that mindset and that thought
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of things. What you just said, I had so many things I wanted to say. For one, first, let's talk about the physical. I mean,
Mhm.
if you if you lost that much weight, it
Mhm.
takes a long time for your body's hormonal body chemistry to come back to homeostasis. So there's
Mhm.
something called leptin, that's your fullness hormone. And if you've been overweight, that hormone is all screwed up. And so you
Mhm.
can't tell if you're hungry or if you're full because your body is
Right.
actually sending incorrect signals. So
Mhm.
that part is just going to take time, and the best way to help with that is to support your body in other ways through getting enough sunlight, getting good sleep, getting good exercise and the right kind of exercise. So you want to make sure that you're getting some weight training, and you want to make sure that you're getting some high intensity sprint bursts. And those types of things are really good for resetting your leptin. Also, getting enough protein first thing in the morning. So, protein and healthy fats. So, you're telling your body, hey, there's a lot of really good fuel here. We're not in starvation mode. There's actually plenty. We're in a period of feast. So, I don't have to try and, go looking for food every 20 minutes. So, it's not survival anymore. So that would be like the physical things to support your body and rebalance and find homeostasis. And then for men, generally what I see, and I would say this is likely true for you based on what you told me, is it's either
Mhm.
boredom or stress, which are just two different sides of the same coin. So
Oh yeah.
you're feeling like I want to accomplish more. Like there's this
Mhm.
little voice in the back of your head that goes, I was put on this earth to do more. And when you have a little baby, especially, your world is so small. Your world is a pinpoint. And it's
Mhm.
freaking boring to sit around holding a baby, but that's all I mean, that's what's required of you. So it can be really
Stress level
hard.
goes up here.
Yeah, it can be really hard, especially as a man, when you're like, I want to be out there like slaying a dragon, and
Mhm.
you're like inside, especially in the winter, you're inside a house, it's dark, there's not a lot of sunlight, and you're just like, this isn't what I was made for. I just need something to make me feel good. And that's when we
Mhm.
turn to our coping mechanisms: TV, scrolling social media, porn, food, alcohol, weed, whatever it is, whatever your thing is. And if you're staring right at a kitchen full of food, especially highly palatable food that's
Oh
like,
yeah.
from a package, it's like, well, shit, I don't feel that great, but that'll make me feel better. And your body interprets that as hunger. So it's reprogramming. So once you physically get to the point where you're at homeostasis with your hormones,
Mhm.
then you have to start to learn to trust what real hunger is. And so for me, that's about really feeling into like, yeah, I can. Let me put your show back on for you. For me, that's about really finding a place where you, like, say, you woke up late, you didn't have time for breakfast, you ran out the door, now it's 11 a.m. and you haven't eaten yet. Compare that feeling to like the feeling of sitting on the couch and like, food sounds good. So there's a very different physical feeling associated. So it's learning to understand that physical feeling of hunger versus that
Mhm.
mental feeling of everything else that's coming up, and you're interpreting that as hunger. So that's something that is it just takes time. It takes consciousness. I tell people, wait 5 minutes. If you think you want to eat, sit there for 5 minutes and go, Am I really hungry? What does real hunger feel like? Well, what does this feel like? Where is this in my body? Oh, this is in my chest. This isn't in my belly. And just map it out. And then after 5 minutes, go eat. Who cares? Even if you're not
And I
hungry,
think a
go
lot of
eat.
it too is, I think a lot of it too is like, so our schedule here at home is, my wife comes home, she works 3 to 11, so when she comes home, then after 11, we'll sit down, talk for a minute, and then that's when we usually have our dinner. Because our usual schedule is kind of up late, and then I'm usually up in the morning anyway, whether it's her or the dogs got me up at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I usually have those longer stretches, but I think it's just having once, I don't know if it's, you hear the old cliche of, keep a food journal, and it's just like, I thought about that, you know, I, but I think the biggest hesitation for me is does that really work? Like,
I don't think
I
it
don't.
does. I'm not a fan of food journals because I think your body will tell you when it's hungry. Listen, if you get cut, your body will heal up that cut. If you get a
Right.
flu, your body will heal the flu. If you have to
Mm-hmm.
pee, you don't sit there and go, do I really have to pee? Do I deserve to pee right now? I don't know. Did I drink enough water to earn this pee? No, you just pee, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's the same with our hunger, except that we've kind of screwed up our hunger signals by, eating these highly palatable foods and using food as our coping mechanism. So the more we can get in tune with what real hunger feels like, the more we can trust it. We don't have to write down in a book how many calories we ate. It's like, just eat when you're hungry. But
Right.
first, figure out what real hunger is. And that's where that just takes slowing down and being patient. And it's like, start with the tennis ball. Like, do the annoying thing first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's just like
apologize
with
if
me.
I'm in and out.
You're
Oh,
alright,
it's
dude.
okay. I got
Yeah.
mine here too, so no problem.
Mine sneak in through the kitchen during podcast time, and they'll be like, "Dad, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Dude, it's okay. You can come on the show. I don't care. Just don't be loud." Um, but it's like me, like during the day, if I'm just at home or something, it's like, all right, eat, find something. But if you're moving, or I find it more if you're moving around, if you're working, if you're being productive, it can slip your mind. It's like, hmm, I am hungry, but I don't got time to eat. And then it's like when you get home, it's like as soon as you get home, it's like, dude, I am
Yeah,
starving.
right. Like, you can go all day if you're at work all day. Yeah, excuse me. What do you need?
That's been the biggest thing for me is just I've noticed, Mac, like you said, if you're moving around, you're distracted, you're keeping yourself busy. Yeah, you really don't even think about it, or it'll cross your mind for a split second, and then the advantage, like, so for me, the advantage is I get distracted real easy. So I mean, I could have my mind set, halfway to the refrigerator, and then something else to take my mind away, and I just travel off. It's like I was going to the refrigerator for something, and I don't know what I was going there for. All right, I'll just I'll go back later.
Yeah, and I think just having a purpose and goals and knowing like what you're working toward that day, even if it's just like, okay, today my goal is to like get the kid down for the nap and to like have the floor swept, and just knowing that you've got a purpose and you've got these things that are you're going to check off to make you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you're full, you're satiated on life. And also like, and then this is the other thing when food comes in is like, it's been a long day, you're exhausted, you've done more, you've given more than what you really wanted to give, and you're like, I freaking deserve a slice of cake, and I
Right.
deserve 5 beers right now, or whatever it is. And so getting to the point where like you're not over giving, that can require some lifestyle changes. So we tend to be on one side or the other instead of in this balance where it's like I'm bored, I don't have enough going on, or like I am just exhausted. So it's finding that middle ground, and I think we're always kind of dialing that in, right? It's not going to be the same from day to day.
Down, Poppy.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Are you home with your kid then when your wife's at work?
Oh yeah, all the time. And I'm not one. So I'm more of like an introvert. I'm not one to really like to be around people, or at least big crowds of people. I mean, I say it all the time. I'm by no means a people person. If I come to you, or if I have a feeling, from across the room, it's like, oh, okay, this person might be, a pretty good person. Then I'll go and engage. But for the most part, if I don't have a feeling at all, I tend to be okay by myself. I am much, and I say it all the time, I am just as comfortable be looking at the same four walls of my home and just being by myself as I am being out in public, you know, with my family or something like that. And I think just a lot of it is whether it's today's day and age with just people and their non-existent intelligence, and things like that. It's just like I can't. Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
sometimes it's safe to break away from your comfort zone and
oh yeah,
try and break out of it and
mhm.
try something new. Because if you don't, you'll get content, and then sometimes when you get content, it can get really dangerous for you. It all depends on what it is, but
So
uh,
well, we watched a video, and there was a wise woman in that video that had said to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And I sat back and I really thought about that. It's like, yeah, and it's a scary thing to kind of travel off into being uncomfortable. And I try to use that logic, and bring kind of my religion into it in a sense that God wants us to progress. We can't progress if we don't make ourselves uncomfortable. And it's just, I don't mind being outside. I mean, it's just, I need to get more comfortable, whether it's introducing myself to somebody or going out and doing more outside with people. And just like, I got to stop looking at people as bad people. And I can't remember who sings it. Mac might know because he's a country freak. Uh, I believe most people are good is the name of this song, and I'll sit down, listen, and it's like, yeah, dude, I want to agree with you, but I mean, realistically, you go out there. And there's usually just always something that happens that just makes you almost instantly regret walking out your front door.
I
I
mean,
want
I
to be
think
on.
that going back to what you said, sorry to interrupt, but the I
No.
think we have a comfort crisis. I
Mm-hmm.
think that
Mm-hmm.
we, and there might have even been a book I saw that had that name, but we have these super soft beds and couches, and we have all these TV channels. Sorry, my kid took his pants off, and and we have insurance policies, and we have all this stuff to make us comfortable. And I mean, you can order food to your front door. You don't even have to get off the couch anymore to get food. Like it's kind of crazy. But you're right, there's no progress in that. And it's something that I've really been working on with my surfing because I feel like right now, I, you know, I had stage 4 cancer. So stage 4, it's pretty likely, 90% likely it's going to come back. So although I'm in remission now, they're telling me within the next 5 years, my chances of survival are about 17%. And I'm going, okay, well, I need to beat those odds, right? I got a 3-year-old. So for some reason, surfing these bigger waves has felt really important to me to like teach my body that it's strong, it's healthy, because what we believe in our minds is what comes true, right? So I've been getting out of my comfort zone big time to surf these waves that are just massive for me at least. Some other surfers might call them small, but to me it feels huge. And to be able to do that and be like, I'm terrified right now, and I'm okay with being terrified. Like I can still breathe. I know that logically, like I'm I'm trained for this. I'm prepared for this. If something goes wrong, I know what the protocol is, and yeah, I can be terrified and I can still do it. I can still move forward. And for me, that's like survival, right? To be comfortable with being uncomfortable is like my survival depends on it. So I think that's a really powerful statement right there. And that's like, Brene Brown and the vulnerability and all that. Like, yeah, it's critical, I think. And you're not going to be very healthy if you just want to be comfortable all the time. Like there's
Right.
not much health in that. It's very comfortable to sit in your underwear and eat potato chips and watch, Netflix all day long.
It's
Very
very
comfortable.
comfortable for me when I'm on the football field to yell at the refs every 30 seconds.
Right? We
I'm
all have our own
surprised,
comfort
Mac.
zones.
I'm surprised Mac hasn't ended up in jail yet from fighting with the referees on the field there.
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean that's a thing, right? So for you it's like learning to hold that anger. Like, oh, this is what anger feels like in my body. This is what it feels like to think somebody is a stupid idiot. Wow, this feels really uncomfortable in my body to do nothing about this. And then it passes. Like there's an arc to our emotions. Like they ramp up, they get really intense, and then they come back. It passes, you know? It's something we probably all work on it with our kids. Like, I know this sucks right now, especially like teenagers. Probably they think they had a bad day. It's the world's falling apart, and as a parent, we're like, okay, it gets worse, dude.
My son will go to school and he'll come home and he'll walk in. He'll go, "Hi, Dad. How was your day?" And I'm like, "Eh." And I have my good days and I have my bad days. Um, I found out a couple of months ago I had a massive blood clot in my leg all the way up past my calf. And then I had one in my lung. And some days I'm in pain, some days I'm not. And but the funny thing is, he'll come in. He goes, "My day at work was good." I'm like, "Work? You're just a freshman in high school." And he goes, "Well, I got my OSHA certification today." And I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome." And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm in construction now, and I built the birdhouse." I'm like, "Nice."
If it makes them
Oh,
happy, it's one of those things. If it makes the kid happy, just go along with it. You know, my friend's dad just recently passed. Now he's an old friend of mine. Uh, we have distanced ourselves from each other, and it's okay. But he would tell me stories. He's an older gentleman. He's in his 60s, but his dad had just recently passed, and his dad would. I mean, was so far gone. He'd be telling my friend about oh, there's this damn Smurf running around in my yard, and he'd look out there and he'd be like, "Dad, there's nobody out in the yard. You're fine." "Oh, well, there's somebody peeking through my window." "No, Dad, there has been nobody here for the past 3 weeks. You're fine." "Well, your sister is trying to kill me and poison me." This, "No, Dad, she's just giving you your medication." And so I told him, I said, I said, you spend every time you go see your dad to help him out, you spend more time arguing with him. I said, he's gone and there's no sense of arguing with him. I said, your best bet is just to tell him what he wants to hear, or just every time he starts in on you, be like, "Yep, okay," and just agree with it. Just if he's happy, and you just if he's going to be happy with you agreeing with him, even though it's not true. These two are getting like really bad fights, whether it's politics or whatever it is. And usually it'd be something that his dad would say to make absolutely no sense. And it's just like, dude, just agree with him. because that way you're not getting yourself all worked up. My dad, I consider him a piece of shit, but there's times where he'll go on about some nuclear bullshit, and he'll ramble on about how, the world is going to end and the sirens are going to go off. Now, if we went by his logic, we'd be been done dead, at least 6 months ago, and it's just like every time I'd be on the phone with him, it's just like, oh, yep, okay, and I automatically, it's like I tune him out, and that's a gift and a curse, because that all started with my mother-in-law, where I'd just be like, okay, and then I would consciously tune certain people out, but then it just starts to have the reverse effect, where your wife is sitting there talking to you, and you hear what she's saying, and you just automatically, yep, oh, okay.
She knows when you're doing that, by the way.
It's just like my great aunt. Remember the story I told you?
Oh yeah.
It's just like my great aunt. Now, if you want to laugh, this is pretty damn funny.
I'm surprised Melanie remembers, being on this show with Chuck Norris here.
My great aunt, my grandma's sister. I think I was about 18, 19, somewhere around there. And my great aunt, she had I think it was Alzheimer's, and we go to visit, and my grandma walks in, and I go in right behind her, and she goes, "Hey, Helen, you know who this is?" And she goes, "No." And then she turns back and she's watching the TV, and all of a sudden, Walker Texas Ranger is playing. I go to use the bathroom and come back, and she's like, "I know who you are." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, she remembers me." She goes,
"She remembers you, all right.
You're Chuck Norris."
Oh, that's great. Oh my
goodness. It's one of those, like, yeah, sure.
That's so funny.
I'm like, whatever you want.
Why, yes, actually I am Chuck Norris. Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I look nothing like Chuck Norris, but if that's what you want, hey, that's fine.
I'll take the compliment.
I think you're her hero. I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah. Man, I don't know if this storm is going to hit yet or not, but the TV keeps flashing, take cover now, and it's been saying that for an hour, and I'm like, well, I'm in cover. Where's the storm?
Yeah, I heard.
Max, you are the cover.
I guess I was talking to my mom. She's in Michigan. She said 13 to 18 inches or something.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's a lot of snow.
I live in a bipolar state, North Carolina. It doesn't matter where it could be summer, and it could be 89, 90 degree weather today, and then tomorrow during the summer it could get 25 inches of snow.
We all woke up this morning and I turned on the oven because it was so cold in here, and everyone was bundled up like, it's freezing, it's so cold. You want to know how cold it was? 59 degrees.
Wow.
We thought it was the coldest day. It probably is like the coldest day of the year. And then, of course, now it's like 75. It got nice out, of course. But, yeah, we freak out when it drops below 60 because we don't have any pants.
So do you travel to Michigan to visit family?
Yeah, I do. I try and go once a year. This year, I spent a lot of time there. I think just after chemo and everything, I was like, I just need to be with my family more. And then my
Mhm.
sister, so I have a genetic mutation that puts me at high risk for cancer. So my sister also has the same mutation. So she went to go get her ovaries taken out preventatively because it's ovarian cancer. And they found cancer in her when they went to take her ovaries out.
Oh man.
So then she had to go through chemo. So I spent quite a lot of time in Michigan. I just wanted to be with her. My brother opened a winery this year, and I wanted to help him open his winery. Another brother-in-law opened a brand new church that he's a pastor of. So it was like my family just had a lot going on, new babies. So I did spend like May, June, and then September and October just hanging out with the fam. And it's hard to be away from Hawaii because Hawaii is just, I mean, it's a dream no matter what time of year. It's just so wonderful.
You get the tsunami warnings and everything like that, right?
I mean, we do, but like nothing like that has ever really happened. The worst we get is like high wind, you know. So
Awesome.
it's definitely a dream here, but then it's also hard to be away from family, especially when you have a kid. It's not
Every
easy.
time I think about Hawaii, I think about that Disney Channel movie Johnny Tsunami. I don't know
Oh,
if
I don't know
anybody's.
that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Every time I think of Hawaii, I think of Lilo and Stitch.
Moana. You guys watch Moana? The
I've
kids
heard
are
of it.
Or
Your kid's too young and yours are too old.
yeah, or every time I think about Hawaii, I'm always thinking about Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I'm like, I grew up. I mean, I grew up watching that guy, and I
We
mean,
got we got The Rock. He's a Pacific Islander. I think he lives in Hawaii. I met his brother one time at a I don't know, DJ night or something. His brother, Dwayne Johnson's brother, is his stunt double apparently because they look just alike. And then who's the Aquaman? I forget that guy's name.
Jason Momoa.
Jason
Yes.
Momoa.
Yeah, so he's around here. We see him once in a while. I saw him at Turtle Bay Resort the other day. I was there with my kid. We were, shh, don't tell anybody, but we were using their hot tub, even though we weren't registered guests. And yeah, Jason Momoa walked by with a girl. So there's some big name actors around here.
There's a big place where windmills can.
Yeah.
And if one of the blades goes off, then our house won't have lights.
You're right. I'm gonna do another episode for you, okay?
Not very often we get two guests at the same time.
I get my two in here. We'll just have a big old family reunion.
At some point,
Reminds
I
me
should
of the-
probably get him off of the TV and get going here because it's only so much TV he'll actually be attentive to before he needs some mom time.
So, are you going to teach him how to surf? Or are you teaching him how to surf?
Well, I pushed a little bit too fast, too early, and he fell on a wave and went underwater. And he was fine. He had a life jacket on and goggles and all that, but it kind of scared him. So now we do a lot of body surfing, like where the shore pound is, and the waves are just knee high, and they're just hitting the sand, and you can let them just wash you up the beach. So we're working on that, which is it's part of like getting confident in the ocean and learning wave knowledge and all that stuff. So yeah, when he lets me, we'll get on a board. Right now, we do a little skateboarding and just whatever he's
Baby
into. I'm kind of
steps.
trying to let him decide. I mean, there's plenty of kids his age that are full on surfing already, but he's not. He's not one of those super competitive. Which I mean, I think is awesome that he's not like that. It's kind of almost easier to live like that. But also, I'm just like, come on, we're running out of time. So, but it's fun. We have a lot of fun together. We go hiking and go to the beach, and it's just enjoying. I mean, we're outside.
How far are you out from the beach?
It's a 1 minute walk.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're there all the time. It's wonderful. Yeah, I couldn't imagine it any other way. I get sad when I leave here.
You've been in Hawaii how long now?
It's been 5 years, going on. Yeah, it's been 5 years, but the first few years I wasn't here full time. I was just like in the winter, I'd come here to surf, and then I'd go to Mexico or.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that. Yep.
Like the Mexican cartel.
Oh.
Oh, Melanie, you just really know where, how to find them, don't you?
Hey, I was in
Next trip should
Belize.
be to England. You can find the English cartel there.
I was in Belize, and I made them believe I was a famous basketball player. So I mean, we. So I mean, we were. So quick story, and then we'll let you go. So I was in. So we took a trip. We were on a cruise actually, and we spent the day in Belize. And I finally got cell phone service there for like 5 minutes, and I was texting my friend, and he goes, "Hey, I dare you to tell them you're so and so and get a picture with them." And so yeah, I did, and I was like, "Hey, I'm this NBA player," and he's like, "Oh my gosh, let me get a picture. Let me get a picture." I mean, hey, yeah, just go to some, when you go to like some random place, just be like, you don't know who I am. I mean, the next time I'm thinking, next time we go out of the country, since my great aunt believed I was Chuck Norris, I'm, go- I'm going to give it a shot. um, Hoybert, it was awesome. Yeah,
Thank you
same
for
here.
thank you for coming on the show and spending almost 2 hours with us.
Um,
That'd be
awesome,
great. Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, about a couple of hours after we finish here and we wrap up our other episode and edit this episode, I'll I can text you the links or I can email them or send them through Instagram, either way you want. And sounds good.
We'd
Well,
love to have you back on the show.
we hope to catch you again back on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm at the stage where I'm cleaning the shotgun, getting ready for boyfriends and stuff. So yeah.
Stay safe.
Stay safe and have a good one. We'll catch you
Thank
down the
you.
road. All right. Bye.
Bye bye. All right. Now, we did go a little over the time, so.
Actually, no, we didn't. Remember, we said 2 hours, and
Yeah, we did. However, I had reached out to somebody for a second surprise guest. I had him on standby. Give him a text real quick.
let's do it. Oh, by the way,
What?
we only need 5 more subscribers.
Are you
Let's
serious?
go, people.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, hold on. All right. So I sent him the link.
Oh yeah, you just wait. You sent them the link via phone?
Yeah. All right, hold on.
You have to. You have to go to the invite and.
Oops. Sorry, hold on here. I got the app on my phone, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, so. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our second guest of the evening is Mr. Walker.
Oh, oh, you pansy.
I got
Oh
the
man.
idea when you showed me your little walk
I was
on.
gonna wear that. I forgot to put that on. I was gonna wear that on tonight's episode.
So
I'm gonna wear it tomorrow.
as soon as you said that you were a Texas Ranger, I'm like, I got you. I got you as a guest for Friday. Mm-hmm. You
Man,
just don't know it yet.
Are you live still, Cameron?
I mean, that was good. I was like, what the heck? I was like, he's like, I sent it out by phone. You cannot send it out by phone. We're live. And I'm like, okay.
I have it on my phone.
Well, yeah, but you can't send out a session for a guest if you're on your phone. It has to be by the invite
Through the
button up
app.
top. Yeah.
Right. But I could jump in on my phone, in the app on my phone, and invite him that way. You know what? I think I deserve this. I've held out a lot longer than I usually do. So,
But
let's do it, guys.
big thanks. But once again, big thanks to my good friend Melanie. Thanks for coming on the show. You are awesome.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Absolute dollar.
Great conversation. I mean, we got to chop it up with a little bit of everything, what she does, and what she's been through, and what we go through.
Oh yeah.
And that's what a podcast is really all about. I mean,
She
doesn't have to be business and listen to somebody lecture to you all the time.
It doesn't have to be literally an hour of unsolved mysteries. I'm a writer. Like, okay, well, we love having you on the show, but we're running out of time. Dude, shut the hell up! It's time to go. All right, well, thanks for having me for another 5 minutes. Like,
it was more.
Okay, seriously, dude, you really need to get the hell out of here,
dude. Yeah.
One more thing. I mean, technical difficulties. There's just certain times, people, where technical difficulties are necessary, and they come on purpose.
Just like
the difference is, Mike and I will always be honest with you. If there is a purposeful.
So for the people that did ask me about the last Friday's episode, there was a technical difficulty, and it was a purposeful one, and that's all I'm going to say.
I know that. Mac knows that. I just don't think everybody else knew that. So while we still have time, yes, we still have time for our next segment of fan mail, hate mail. Mac, do we have anything for the fan mail, hate mail?
No, but I'm sure I can stir some up. I mean,
go for it.
Hold on. Give me a second.
All right.
Isaiah, come here. Tell your friends to go subscribe to me right now, and they'll get V-Bucks.
Really, Cam? You acting people out there.
It was a joke. But anyways.
You ain't lying saying that.
But
Yo, dude, listen, there's just some fan hate mail that we don't want to deal with. Some mail that needs to go to sleep. It's past your bedtime.
Oh yeah. But no good fan mail tonight. I mean,
no hate mail?
Nope, not tonight.
Wow.
But we can go through the list of subscribers. Never mind, it's all good.
I described. Are you gonna say
Did
thank
you
you
ever
to me?
find out how to check to see everybody who is subscribed?
Can you tell who all subscribe?
Yes.
Can you see me?
There is a certain way.
There is a way to do it. I just can't remember how.
Can you see me up there?
No.
Then how you can tell who all subscribed then?
I don't see you on the list, so.
I hit subscribe.
Okay, well, I appreciate your subscribing. Go tell your friends to subscribe.
No.
Tell your coworkers to subscribe.
I'm trying to see. There is.
You go ahead and cut it right now. That's all. No, I ain't talking about nothing.
I think I know what it is, man. She's afraid to tell her friends to go subscribe because, then we'll become famous, and then once we become famous, people will be all over us.
We got a YouTube badge here.
Oh, let's see. You hit 100 views.
We hit
100 views on quite a few of our videos.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Nice.
There is one way. Let me go to the email.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna give the fans as we promised. I can't remember if I said it on air or.
By the way, the name of that song you were saying, it's by Luke Bryan.
People are good.
By Luke Bryan.
Okay, that's who it is. So I can't remember if I had said this on the air or if it was before the show. I have to. Either way, I feel like I have to honor my word here.
Hello.
Hey, what are you doing? Mom, ain't nobody can hear you. Take the shit out of your mouth, please.
So I'm laying here watching TV because I'm not feeling good.
Oh, what are you watching? What? Okay, Mom. There ain't no way you got 20/20 vision.
You're right.
So then, what do you mean? Why are you talking about 20/20?
I'm watching it.
Okay, I understand. How can you be
TV show, Andy?
Yeah, I know. I asked you what TV show you were watching.
And I said 20/20.
Okay, 20/20 what?
That's the name of it.
The name of what?
The show.
What show? What is your Mom? Yeah, I'm asking you what you're watching. Even your granddaughter wants to know what you're watching.
20/20.
Mom, 20/20 was 4 years ago. I'm not asking you about the year. I'm asking you what you're watching on TV.
Andy.
Mom?
Don't mess with me.
Mom, why?
I don't feel good.
No, I'm not messing with you. I'm just trying to figure out what you're watching on TV.
20/20. It's a TV show.
Okay, so let's assume. Okay, I'm gonna try to go based on your logic here. What is the TV show that you're watching? What is it about?
about this girl getting
Who's 20?
kidnapped.
Okay, so wait. Is the girl 20? Is it a show that was in the year 2020?
No.
And that's right. Then why would they name a show 2020 if it's about a girl who got kidnapped?
It shows on every week. It's on every Friday. And it's different things.
You feeling okay?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you must not have done enough lines of sugar today, Mom. Now you heard what your doctor said. You know, if you're not doing enough lines, you're gonna start feeling like this. So you're gonna have to go out there and do at least 6 more lines of sugar. All right.
No.
No.
I didn't say nothing about taking the sugar.
That's exactly what the doctor said. Ask Billy. Billy was right there when he. Yeah, Mom. See, now you're so tired.
I didn't even have my doctor's appointment.
Mom, I know.
Doctor's appointment is not until next week.
Yeah, no, this was your last doctor's appointment, and I know that he said about doing sugar because that's what Billy had told me that you told him. Because when you don't get enough sugar, this is how you start being. Where you start forgetting shit and not knowing what the hell you're talking about.
Well, if that's the case, I'd be taking lots of fucking sugar.
Mom, you don't take enough sugar.
Yeah, I take too much sugar. That's why I'm diabetic.
So when did you become diabetic?
Well, I was diabetic before Billy was.
Yeah, well, okay, well, if that's the case, then no. And listen, you being diabetic had nothing to do with taking too much sugar. It happened to do because you were using the wrong straw. You were using a plastic straw when you should have been using a dollar bill.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah. Because the materials in
plastic straw.
The materials of the plastic is what gave you your diabetes.
Oh, damn it.
Tell me about it. All right, love you, Mom.
I love you too.
I can't believe I can't believe you went on for almost 5 minutes about a fucking TV show, arguing with me back and forth.
I thought you had to do a show.
Yeah, I did, but some things came up, and I told my friend that I would we'd have to reschedule for tomorrow. Yeah. So, what's Billy doing?
Is everything okay?
Yep. What's Billy doing?
He's out there watching something.
What is he watching?
Probably ghost stories.
Okay, well, can you go find out?
No.
Please? Please?
And call him and ask him.
Now, I ain't trying to piss him off, please.
Well, I'm not going to try and piss him off either.
And trust me, you don't have to try. You just walking into the room pisses him off. He just doesn't tell you.
Don't feel good.
Okay, please? Just one time. If you get up and go out there and ask him what he's watching, I promise I'll leave you alone for the rest of the night, I think. You going?
What are you watching? Nice save.
Who'd he save? Who'd he save? Did he save some?
Save.
What about a nice page? Ain't nobody know what the hell you're talking about, Mom.
But Mexican hat dance on what?
He's watching Mexican hat dancing?
I'm gonna do a Mexican.
Alright, love you. Alright, love you, bye.
What are you watching?
I ain't watching nothing.
Hang up the phone!
We did we do
One
it?
more! We got one more! We need one more!
Oh, come on! Let's go! Come on! Alright, guys. So, we've officially hit 2 hours, but we got one more sub to go. I think we need to keep going with this until we get that one more. And actually, hold on. Because now I'm excited. That got me, fuck! I forgot to record SmackDown tonight. I knew I forgot something. But that's okay. That's okay, guys, because guess what? We are going to hit 1,000 subs.
All you gotta do is...
Bear with me, guys.
Subscribe.
Hold on. I don't know. We're about to find out.
We got 1,000. We got 1,000. Yes, we do. We got 1,000. Let's go. Let's go.
I'm the last subscriber.
Let's go. Hold on.
You're welcome.
1,000
Woo!
and beyond, baby.
You're welcome.
Shut up.
I think it's safe to say, I think we
We got
continue
more
the.
coming.
I think we continue on another episode here. We're gonna hang up here and we're gonna do a little celebration episode.
Absolutely. We love you all. Stay safe. Be good. And we will see you back here in a few minutes after a diaper change.
And I go get a party drink. Let's rock.
Let's do it.
Can I say?
See y'all in a few.
Oh yes, and my lovely daughter has one more thing to say.
All
Make
right.
sure you like and subscribe before you leave. Bye.
You heard the munchkin.
I'm not the munchkin. You munchkin?